coming out in the snow. You probably didn't know you were getting an immersive winter's tale today. But I am so thankful you all braved the storm to come out, because we have a real treat for you today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Abby Burlingame. I produced and directed this reading of The Winter's Tale. I'm calling it semi-staged because, as you'll see, we are at music stands, but then there's other additional elements, some other surprises along the way. A couple of just housekeeping things before we dive into it. We are in the Hive, which is a Spokane Public Library space, so we were very thankfully able to use this space for free. So if everyone could just, treat it with respect, pick up after yourself, throw your trash away, etc., it would be greatly appreciated. If you do need to leave during the performance, we ask that you use this back door here. I will leave it propped open, and so that way you can sneak in and out without disturbing the performance that's going on up here. If you need to use restrooms and you haven't already found them, they are just down this hallway here on the right-hand side. There is like a family all-gender restroom across the hall as well. All right, please remember also to turn off any of your cell phones or put them on silent so we don't disturb the performance. It's going to be about 2 hours, so 1 hour each half with a 15-minute intermission. Without any further ado, I am so pleased to introduce the cast of The Winter's Tale.
The Winter's Tale, Act 1, The Palace at Sicilia.
If you shall chance, Camilla, to visit Bohemia, you shall see, as I have said, great difference betwixt that Bohemia and our Sicilia.
I think this coming summer the king of Sicilia means to pay Bohemia the visitation which he justly owes her.
Sicilia cannot show himself overkind to Bohemia. They were trained together in their childhoods, and there rooted betwixt them then such an affection which cannot choose but branch now. Since their more mature dignities and royal necessities made separation of their society, their encounters, though not personal, hath been royally attorneyed with interchange of gifts, letters, loving embassies, that they have seemed to be together though absent, shook hands as over a vast, and embraced as it were from the ends of opposed winds.
The heavens continue their loves.
Enter Leontes, king of Sicilia, Hermione, queen of Sicilia, 9 months pregnant, Mamilius, their son, and Polixenes, king of Bohemia.
9 changes of the watery star have been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne without a burden. Time as long again would be bind off my brother with our thanks, and yet we should for perpetuity go hence in debt, and therefore, like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply with one we thank you many thousands more that go before it.
Stay your thanks a while and pay them when you part.
Sir, that's tomorrow. I am questioned by my fears of what may chance of or breeding upon our absence, that may blow no sneaping winds at home to make us say, this is put forth too truly. Besides, I've stayed to tire your royalty.
We're tougher, brother, than you can put us to it.
No longer stay.
1 7 longer.
Very sooth, tomorrow.
We'll part the time between us then, and then I'll no gainsay.
Farewell, our brother.
Tongue-tied, our queen, speak you.
I had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you have drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia as well. This satisfaction the bygone day proclaimed. Say this to him, he speech from his best lord.
Well said, Hermione.
To tell, he longs to see his son were strong, but let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaff. Yet, of your royal presence, I'll adventure the borrow of a week. Then, at Bohemia, you take my lord, I'll give my commission to let him there a month behind the Jesper fixed for his party. Yet, good deed, Leontes, I love thee not a jar at the clock behind, but lady she her lord. You'll stay?
No, madam.
Nay, you will.
I may not, verily.
Verily.
Oh, you put me off the limber vows. But I, though you would seek to unsphere the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you a prisoner, not like a guest. So you shall pay your fees when you depart and save your thanks. How say you, my prisoner or my guest? By your dread, verily, one of them you shall be.
Your guest, then, madam. To be your prisoner should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you to punish.
Not your jailer then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then.
We were, fair queen, two lads that thought there was no more behind but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal.
Was not my lord the verier wag of the two?
Oh, we were as twin lambs that did frisk in the sun, and bleat the one at the other.
Oh, by this we have gathered you of trip since.
Oh, my most sacred lady. Temptations have since been born twos, for in those unfledged days my wife a girl, your precious self had not then yet crossed the eyes of my young playfellow.
Brace to boot.
Is he one yet?
He'll stay, my lord.
At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose.
Never.
Never, but once.
What? Have I twice said well? What was before? I've heard they tell me, crams with praise, and makes as fat as tame things. One good deed dying tongueless, slaughters 1,000 waiting upon that. Oh, but once before I spoke to the purpose. One. Nay, let me have it, I long.
Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand and clap thyself, my love. Then thou didst utter, I am yours forever.
'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice. For one, the one forever earned a royal husband, the other for some while, friend.
Too hot. Too hot to mingle friendship far as mingling bloods. I've tremor cordis in me. My heart dances, but not for joy, not joy. This entertainment may a free face put on derive a liberty from hardiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. It may, I grant, but to be paddling palms and pinching fingers, as now they are, and making practiced smiles, as in a looking glass, and then to sigh, as 'twere more to the dear. This is entertainment my heart likes not, nor my brows. Mamilius, art thou my boy?
Aye, my good lord.
Art thou my calf?
Yes, my lord, if you say so.
Thou want'st a rough pash, and the shoots that I have to be full like me. Yet, they say that we are almost as like eggs. Women say so. They will say anything but were they false as overdyed blacks, as wind, as waters false as dice, or to be wished by one that fixes no born twixt his and mine. Yet, they were true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page, look on me with your welkin eye. Sweet villain, my dearest, my collop, can I be damned? May it be. Affection, thy intention, stabs the center.
What means Cecilia?
He seems something unsettled.
Ah, my lord, what cheer? How is it with you, best brother?
You look as if you have the brow of much distraction. Are you moved?
My brother, are you so fond of your young prince as we seem to be so of ours?
If at home, sir, he's all my exercise, my mirth, my matter. Now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy. My parasite, my soldier, statesman, all. He makes a July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures me thoughts that would thick my blood.
So stands this squire office with me. We two will walk, my lord, and leave you to your graver steps. Hermione, how thou lovest us, show in our brother's welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap, next to thyself. And my young rover, he's a parent to my heart.
If you would seek us, we are yours in the garden. Shall attend you there.
To your own bed's disposure you'll be found, be beneath the sun. I'm angling now. Though you perceive me, how I give line, go to, go to. There have been, or I have much been deceived, cuckolds ere now, as many a man there is, even at this present. Now, while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, that little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pawn fished by his next neighbor, by Sir Smile, his neighbor. Nay, there's comfort in it, while other men have gates, and those gates opened as mine against their will. Should all despair that have revolted wives, the 10th of all mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there is none. It is a body planet that will strike where 'tis predominant and 'tis powerful. Think it from east, west, north, and south. Be it concluded, no barricado for the belly, know it. It will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage, and many 1,000 honest have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy?
I am like you, they say.
Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo there?
Aye, my good lord.
Go play, Mamilius, thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great sir will yet stay longer.
You had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast it out, it still came home.
Didst note it?
He would not stay at your petitions, made his business more material.
Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, rounding, Cecilia is so forth, 'tis far gone when I shall gust it last. How came it, Camillo, that he did stay?
At the good queen's entreaty.
At the queen's. Be it. Good should be pertinent, but so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding, pate, but thine? For thy conceit is soaking, will draw in more than the common blocks, not noted it is, but of the finer natures. By some severals of headpiece extraordinary, lower messes, perchance, are to this business, purblind, say?
Business, my lord. I think most understand Bohemia stays here longer.
Ha!
Stays here longer?
Aye. But why?
To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress.
Satisfy. The entreaties of your mistress. Satisfy. Have you not seen, Camillo? But that's passed out. You have. Or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn. Or heard. For a vision so apparent, rumor cannot be mute. Or thought. For cognition resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is slippery. If thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative, to have nor eyes, nor ears, nor thought, then say, my wife's a hobby horse. Deserves a name as rank as any flack wench that puts before her troth plight, say, and justify it.
I would not be a stander by to hear my sovereign's mistress clouded so without my present vengeance taken. Shrew my heart, you never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate were sin as deep as that, though true.
Is whispering nothing, is leaning cheek to cheek, is meeting noses, is kissing inside lips, stopping the career of laughing with a sigh. A note infallible of breaking honesty, horsing foot to foot, skulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift, hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only, that would unseen be wicked. Is this nothing? Why, then the world and all that's in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing. Bohemia is nothing. My wife is nothing. Nor nothing of these nothings, and this be nothing.
Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous.
Say it. 'Tis true.
No, my lord.
It is. You lie. Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee grouse loud, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer, and cast with thine eyes at once. See good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not have the number of one glass.
Who does infect her?
Why, he that wears her like a medal, hanging about her neck. Bohemia. Who, if I had servants true about me that bear eyes to see alike mine honor as their prophets, their own particular truths, they would do that which should undo more doing. I and thou, his cupbearer, who I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who may see plainly as heaven sees earth and earth sees heaven, how I am galled, might bespice a cup to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which drought to me were cordial.
Sir, my lord, I could do this. And that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram that should not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress. So sovereignty being honorable, I have loved thee.
Make that thy question and go rot. Dost thou think I am so muddy, so unsettled to appoint myself in this vexation? Sully the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve is sleep, which being spotted is goads, thorns, nettles, wasps, give scandal to the blood of the prince, my son, who I think is mine, and love as mine, without right or moving to it. Would I do this? Would man be so blench?
I must believe you, sir. I do, and will fetch off Bohemia for it, provided that when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first, even for your son's sake, and thereby for sealing the injury of tongues and courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
Thou dost advise me, even so, I in my own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honor, none. I'll seem friendly, as thou hast advised me.
Oh, most miserable lady. But for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good Polixenes. And my ground to do it is the obedience to a master, one who in rebellion with himself will have all that are his too. To do this deep promotion follows. If I could find example of thousands that had struck anointed kings and flourished after, I'll not do it. But since nor brass, nor stone, nor parchment bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it. I must forsake the court. To do it or no is certain to me a breakneck. Happy star, reign now. Here comes Bohemia.
This is strange. Methinks my favor here begins to warp. Not speak. Good day, Camillo.
Well, most royal, sir.
What is the news of the court?
None rare, my lord.
The king hath on him such a countenance as he had lost some province and a region loved as he loves himself. Even now, as I met him with customary compliment, when he, wafting his eyes to the contrary and falling a lip of much contempt, speeds from me, and so leaves me to consider what is breeding that changes thus his manners.
There is a sickness which puts some of us in distemper, but I cannot name the disease. It is caught of you that is yet well.
How? Caught of me?
I may not answer.
A sickness caught of me, and yet I well? I must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo, I conjure thee, by all the parts of man which honor does acknowledge, whereof the least is not this suit of mine, that thou declare what incidency thou dost guess of harm is creeping towards me? How far off? How near? which way to be prevented, if to be, if not, how best to bear it.
I am appointed him to murder you.
By whom, Camilla?
The king.
For what?
He thinks, nay, he swears with all confidence, he swears as he had seen it, or been an instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen forbiddenly.
Oh. Then my best blood turn to an infected jelly, and my name be yoked with his that did betray the best. Turn then my freshest reputation to a savor that may strike the dullest nostril, where I arrive and my approach be shunned. Nay, hated too, worse than the greatest infection that e'er was heard or read.
Swear his thought over by each particular star in heaven and by all their influences. You may as well forbid the sea, obey the moon, or as by oath remove or counsel shake the fabric of his folly, whose foundation is piled upon his faith and will continue the standing of his body.
I do believe thee. I saw his heart in space. Give me thy hand. Be pilot to me, and thy places shall still neighbor mine. My ships are ready, and my people did expect my hence departure 2 days ago. This jealousy is for a precious creature. As she's rare, must it be great. And as his person's mighty, must it be violent. And as he does conceive he is dishonored by a man which ever professed to him, why his revenges must in that be made more bitter. Fear o'ershades me. Good expedition be my friend and comfort. The gracious queen, part of his theme, but nothing of his ill-taken suspicion. Come, Camillo, I will respect thee as a father if thou bearest my life off hence. Let us avoid.
It is in my authority to command the keys of all departments. Please, your highness, to take the urgent tower. Come, sir, away.
Act 2, Hermione's chamber.
Hark ye, the queen your mother rounds apace. We shall present ourselves a fine new prince one of these days, and then you'll want him with us, if we would have you.
Oh, she is spread of late into a goodly bull. A good time to encounter her.
What wisdom stirs amongst you? Come, sir, now I am for you again. Pray you, sit by us, and tell us a tale.
Merry or sad shall it be?
Merry as you will.
A sad tale's best for winter. I have one of sprites and goblins.
Well, let's have that, good sir. Come on, sit down. Come on and do your best to fright me with your sprites. You're powerful at it.
Now,
Was he met there? Is trained Camillo with him?
Behind the tuft of pines I met them. Never saw I men scour so on their way. I eyed them even to their ships.
How blessed I am in my just censure, in my true opinion. I know it too well. Give me the boy! I am glad you did not nurse him. Though he does bear some signs of me, yet you have too much blood in him.
What is this? Sport.
Bear the boy hence. I shall not come near her. Away with him, and let her sport herself with that which she's big with. For 'tis Polixenes that hath made thee swell thus.
I would say he had not. And I'll be sworn you would believe my saying her, you lean to the nayward.
You, my lords, look on her. Mark her well. Be but about to say, she is a goodly lady. And the justice of your hearts will thereto add, 'tis pity. She's not honest, honorable. Praise her, but for this her without door form, which on my faith deserves high speech. And straight the shrug, the hum, or ha, these petty brands that comely doth use. I'm out. That mercy does, for comely will seer virtue itself. These shrugs, these hums and haws, when you have said she's goodly, come between air, you can say she's honest. But be it known, from him that hath most cause to grieve it should be, she's an adulteress.
Should a villain say so, the most replenished villain in the world, he were as much more villain you, my lord, do but mistake.
You have mistook, my ladies. Polixenes for Leontes. Oh, that thing. Away with her! To prison! He who shall speak for her is afar off guilty, but he that speaks.
There's some ill planet reigns. I must be patient till the heavens look with an aspect more favorable. Good my lords, I am not prone to weeping as our sex commonly are, the want of which vain dew perchance shall dry your pities. But I have that honorable grief lodged here which burns worse than tears drown. Beseech you all, my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charity shall best instruct you, measure me, and so the king's will be performed.
Shall I be heard?
Who is that goes with me? Beseech your highness, my women may be with me, for you see my plight requires it. Do not weep, good fools. There is no cause. When you shall know your mistress has deserved a prison, then abound in tears as I come out. This action I now go on is for my better grace. Adieu, my lord. I never wished to see you sorry. Now I trust I shall. My women, come. You have leave.
Go. Do our bidding, hence.
Beseech your highness, call the queen again.
Be certain what you do, sir, lest your justice prove violence, in which the three great ones suffer, yourself, your queen, your son.
For her, my lord, I dare my life lay down, and will do it, sir. Please you to accept it, that the queen is spotless in the eyes of heaven, and to you, I mean, in this which you accuse her.
Hold your pieces.
Good my lord.
Why? What need we commune with you of this, but rather follow our forceful instigation? Our prerogative calls not your counsels, but our natural goodness imparts it, which if you, or stupefied or seeming so in skill, cannot or will not relish a truth like this, inform yourselves we need no more of your advice. The matter, the loss, the gain, the ordering on it is all properly ours.
And I wish, my liege, you had only in your silent judgment tried it, without more overture.
Well, how could that be? Either thou art most ignorant by age, or thou wert born a fool. Camilla's flight added to their familiarity, which was as gross as ever touched conjecture, that lacked sight only, not for approbation, but only seeing. All other circumstances make up the deed. Doth push on this proceeding, yet, for greater confirmation, for in an act of this importance, as 'twere most piteous to be wild, I have dispatched in post the sacred Delphos to Apollo's temple. Now from this oracle they will bring all whose spiritual counsel had shall stop or spur me. Have I done well?
Well done, my lord.
Though I am satisfied and need no more than what I know, yet shall the oracle give rest to the minds of others, such as he whose ignorant credulity will not come up to the truth. So, have we thought it good from our free person that she should be confined, lest that the treachery of the two fled, hence be left her to perform. Come, follow us. We are to speak in public, for this business will raise us all.
Good lady, no court in Europe is too good for thee. What dost thou then in prison? Now, good sir, you know me, do you not?
For a worthy lady, and one whom much I honor.
Pray you then conduct me to the queen.
I may not, madam. To the contrary, I have expressed commandment.
Here's a do, to lock up honesty and honor from the access of gentle visitors. Is't lawful, pray you, to see her women, any of them, Amelia?
So please you, madam, to put apart these your attendants, I shall bring Amelia forth.
I pray now call her. Dear gentle woman, how fares our gracious lady?
As well as one so great and so forlorn may hold together, on her frights and griefs which never tender lady hath borne greater. She is something before her time delivered.
A boy.
A daughter. And a goodly babe, lusty and like to live. The queen receives much comfort in it. Says, my poor prisoner, I am innocent as you.
I
dare be sworn. These dangerous, unsafe loons of the king beshrew them. He must be told on it, and he shall. The office becomes a woman best I'll take upon me. If I prove honey-mouthed, let my tongue blister, and never to my red-looked anger be the trumpet any more. Pray you, Amelia, commend my best obedience to the queen. If she dares trust me and her little babe, if I'll show it the king, and undertake it to be her advocate to the loudest, we do not know how he may soften at the sight of the child. The silence often of pure innocence persuades when speaking fails.
Now be you blessed for it. All to the queen.
Do not fear. Upon mine honor I will stand twixt you and all.
Nor night nor day, no rest. It is but weakness to bear the matter thus, mere weakness. If the cause was not in being part of the cause, she's the adulteress. For the harlot king is quite beyond mine arm, out of the blank and level of my brain, plot-proof, but she I can hook to me, say that she were gone, given to the fire. Moiety of my rest might come to me again. Who's there?
You must not enter.
Nay, rather good my lords, be second to me. Fear you his tyrannous passion more or less in the queen's life? A gracious, innocent soul more free than he is jealous.
That's enough.
What noise there, ho?
No noise, my lord. You but needful conference about some gossips for your highness.
Ha! How? Away with that audacious lady. Antigonus, I charged thee that she should not come about me. I knew she would.
I told her so, my lord, on your displeasure's peril and on mine, that she should not visit you.
What, canst thou not rule your wife?
From old dishonesty he can. In this, unless he take the course that you have done, commit me for committing honor, trust it, he shall not rule me.
Ha. Well, now you hear. When she will take her rein, I let her run, but she'll not stumble.
Good my liege, I come, and I beseech you hear me, who profess myself your loyal servant, your physician, your most obedient counselor, yet that dare less appear so in comforting your evils and such as most seem yours. I say I come from your good queen.
Good queen.
Good queen, my lord. Good queen, I say good queen. And would by combat make her good, so were I a man the worse about you.
Force her hence.
Let him that but trifles with his eyes first hand me. On my own I'll offer my own accord. But first I'll do my errand. The good queen, for she is good, hath brought you forth a daughter. Here 'tis. Commends it to your blessing.
Mankind. Witch! Hence, with her out of the door, most intelligence is
Not
gone!
so! I am as ignorant as that as you, and so entitling me, and no less honest than you are mad, which is less, I'll warrant, as this world goes on to pass for honesty.
Traitors! Will you not push her out? A nest of traitors!
I am not, by this good light.
Nor I, nor any but one that's here, and that's himself, for he the sacred honor of himself, his queens, his hopeful sons, his babes, betrays to slander, whose sting is sharper than the swords, and will not, for as the case now stands, it is a curse, he cannot be compelled to it. Once remove the root of his opinion, which is rotten as ever oak or stone with sound.
A boundless tongue, who late hath beat her husband, and now baits me. This brat is none of mine. It is the issue of Polixenes. Hence with it, and together with the damned, commit them to the fire.
It is yours. And might we lay the old proverb to your charge, so like you 'tis the worst.
Once more, take her hence.
A most unworthy and unnatural lord can do no more.
I'll have thee burnt.
I care not. It is a heretic that makes the fire, not she which burns in it. I'll not call you tyrant. But this most cruel usage of your queen, not able to produce more accusation than your own weak-hinged fantasy. Something savors of tyranny and will ennoble make you, yea, scandalous to the world.
On your allegiance, out of the chamber with her. Were I a tyrant, where were her life? She durst not call me so if she did know me one. Away with her!
I pray you, do not push me. I'll be gone. Looks to your babe, my lord. 'Tis yours. Jove send her a better spirit. What needs these hands, you that are thus so tender, or his follies will never do him good, not one of you. So farewell. We are gone.
I'm a feather for each wind that blows. Shall I live to see this bastard kneel and call me father? Better burn it now and then curse it then. But better be it. Let it live. No, it shall not neither. You, sir, come hither. You that have been so tenderly officious with Lady Marjorie, your midwife there, to save this bastard's life, for 'tis a bastard. So sure as this beard's gray, what will you adventure to save this brat's life?
Anything, my lord, that my ability may undergo and my nobleness impose. At least this much, I'll pawn the little blood I have left to save the innocent. Anything possible.
It shall be possible. Swear by this sword that thou wilt perform my bidding.
I will, my lord.
Mark, and perform it. Seest thou, for the fall of any point in it shall not only be death to thyself, but to thy lewd-tongued wife, whom for this time we pardon. We enjoin thee, as thou art liege man to us, that thou carry this female bastard hence, and thou bear it to some remote place and desert place quite out of our dominions, that there thou leave it, without more mercy to its own protection and favor of the climate. As by strange fortune it came to us, I do in justice charge thee, on thy soul's peril and thy body's torture, that thou commend it strangely to some place, where chance may nurse it or end it.
I swear to do this, though a present death may have been more merciful. Come, poor babe. Some powerful spirits instruct the kites and the ravens to be thy nurses. Wolves and bears, they say, casting their savageness aside, have done like offices of pity. Sir, be prosperous in more than this deed does require. And blessing against this cruelty, fight on thy side. Poor thing. Commended to loss.
No. I'll not rear another's issue.
Please, your highness, posts from those you sent to the oracle have come an hour since.
Prepare you, lords. Summon a session that we may arraign our most disloyal lady, for as she hath been publicly accused, so shall she have a just and open trial. While she lives, my heart will be a burden to me. Leave me and think upon my bidding.
Act 3, a Sicilian court of law.
Read the indictment.
Hermione, queen to the worthy Leontes, king of Sicilia, thou art here accused and arraigned of high treason, in committing adultery with Polixenes, king of Bohemia, and conspiring with Camillo to take away the life of our sovereign lord the king, thy royal husband. The pretense whereof being by circumstances partly laid open, thou, Hermione, contrary to the faith and allegiance of a true subject, didst counsel and aid them for their better safety to fly away by night.
Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and the testimony on my part no other but what comes from myself, shall scarce boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity, being counted falsehood, shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if powers divine behold our human actions as they do, I doubt not then but innocence shall make false accusation blush, and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know who least will seem to do so. My past life hath been as continent, as chaste, as true as I am now unhappy, which is more than history can pattern, though devised and played to take spectator. I appeal to your own conscience, sir. Before Polixenes came to your court, how I was in your grace, how merited to be so. Since he came with what encounter so incurrent, I have strained to appear thus. If one jot be on the bound of honor, or in act or will that way inclining, hardened be the hearts of all that hear me, and my nearest of kin cry fie upon my grave.
I've never heard yet any of these bolder vices wanted less impudence to gainsay what they did then to perform it first.
That's true enough, though 'tis a saying, sir, not due to me.
You will not own it.
More than mistress of which comes to me in name of fault, I must not at all acknowledge. For Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess, I loved him as an honor he required, and with such a love as might become a lady like me, with a love even such, so, and no other as yourself commanded. Which not to have done, I think had been in me both disobedience and ingratitude to you and toward your friend, whose love had spoke ever since it could speak from an infant freely, that it was yours. Now for conspiracy, I know not how it tastes, though it be dished for me to try how. All I know of it is that Camillo was an honest man, and why he left your court, the gods themselves, wanting no more than I, are ignorant.
You knew of his departure, as you know what you have undertaken to do in his absence.
Sir, you speak a language that I understand not. My life stands in the level of your dreams, which I'll lay down.
Your actions are my dreams. You had a bastard with Polixenes, and I but dreamed it. As you were past all shame, those of your fact are so past truth, which to deny concerns more than avails, for as thy brat hath been cast out, like to itself no father owning it, which is indeed more criminal in thee than it, so thou shalt feel our justice, in whose easiest passage look for no less than death.
Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would fright me with, I seek. To me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor I do give lost. For I do feel it gone, but know not how it went. My second joy and first fruits of my body, from his presence I am barred like one infectious. And my third comfort, stored most unluckily, is from my breast the innocent milk in its most innocent mouth, held out to murder. Myself on every coast proclaimed a strumpet, with immodest hatred the childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion. Lastly, hurried here to this place in the open air before I have got my strength the limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here alive that I should fear to die. Therefore proceed. But yet hear this, mistake me not. No life I prize it, not a straw, but for mine honor, which I would free, if I shall be condemned upon surmises, all proof sleeping else but what your jealousies awake. I tell you 'tis rigor and not law. Your honors all I do refer me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
This your request is altogether just. Therefore bring forth, and in Apollo's name, his oracle.
Break up the seals and read.
Hermione is chaste, Polixenes blameless, Camillo a true subject, Leontes a jealous tyrant, his innocent babe truly begotten, and the king shall live without an heir, if that which is lost be not found.
Now blessed be the great Apollo.
Praised.
Hast thou read truth?
Aye, my lord, even so as it is here set down.
There's no truth at all in the oracle. The sessions shall proceed. This is mere falsehood.
My lord the king! The king!
What is the business?
Oh, sir, I shall be hated to report it. The prince your son, with mere conceit and fear of the queen's speed, is gone.
How? Gone?
It's dead.
Apollo's angry, and the heavens themselves do strike at my injustice. Now how go there?
This news is mortal to the queen. Look down and see what death is doing.
Take her hence. Her heart is much o'erclogged, but she will recover. I have but too much believed my own suspicion. Beseech you tenderly apply some remedies of life to her. Apollo. Pardon my great profaneness against thine oracle. I'll reconcile to Polixenes, new woo my queen, recall the good Camillo, who I proclaim a man of truth, how he glisters through my rust, and how his pity does my deeds make the blacker.
All the while, forgot my lace, lest my heart cracking it break too.
What fit is this, good lady?
What torments tyrant has for me? What wheels, racks, fires, what flame, what boiling in leads or oils? What old or new torture must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? Thy tyranny, together working with thy jealousies, fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of 9. Oh, think what they have done, and then run mad, stark mad. For all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it, that thou didst betrayest Polixenes. 'Twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant, and damnable ungrateful. Nor wast much. Thou wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor to have him kill a king. Poor trespasses more monstrous standing by. Whereof I reckon the casting forth of crows thy baby daughter to be, or none, or little, though a devil should have shed water out of fire or done it. Nor is directly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts high for one so timber cleft the heart that would conceive a gross and foolish sire, blemished his gracious dame. This is not, no, laid to thy answer, but the last. O lords, when I said, cry woe, the queen, the sweetest, deepest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance were it not dropped down yet.
The higher powers forbid.
I say she's dead, I'll swear it, and if by word nor oath prevail not, go and see. If you can bring heat, tincture, or luster to her lip, her eye, heat outwardly, or breath within, I'll serve you as I would do the gods. But thou, tyrant, do not repent these things, for they are heavier than all thy woes can stir. Therefore betake thee to nothing but despair. 1,000 knees, 10,000 years together, naked, fasting upon a barren mountain in still winter and storm perpetual, could not move the gods to look that way thou art.
Go on. Go on, thou canst not speak too much. much I've deserved all tongues to talk their bitterest.
Say no more. Howe'er the business goes, you have made fault at the boldness of your speech.
I am sorry for it. All faults I make when I shall come to know them, I do repent. Alas, I have showed too much the rashness of a woman. He is touched to the noble heart. What's gone and what's past help should be past grief. Do not receive affliction at my petition. I beseech you, rather let me be punished, that have minded you of what you should forget. How good my lord. Sir, royal sir, forgive a foolish woman. The love I bore your queen. Oh, fool again. I'll speak of her no more, nor of your children. I'll not remember you of your own lord, who my own lord, who is lost too. Take your patience to you, and I'll say nothing.
No, thou speakest well, but when most the truth, which I receive much better than to be pitied of thee. Prithee, bring me to the dead bodies of my queen and son. One grave shall be for both. Upon them shall the causes of their death appear, unto our shame perpetual. Once a day, I'll visit the chapel where they lie, and tears shed there shall be my recreation, so long as nature will bear up with this exercise, so long I daily vow to use it. Come and lead me to your sorrow.
The shores of Bohemia.
Thou art perfect then, our ship hath touched upon the deserts of Bohemia.
Aye, my lord, and dear, we have landed in an ill time. The skies are grimly and threaten present lusters. In my conscience, the heavens with that we have in hand are angry and frown upon us.
Go art thou away, I'll follow instantly.
I am glad at heart to be so rid of the business.
Come, poor babe. I have heard but not believed that spirits of the dead may walk again. If such things be, thy mother appeared to me last night. For ne'er was a dream so like a waking. To me comes a creature, sometimes her head on one side and sometimes another. I never saw a vessel of like sorrow, so filled and so becoming. In pure white robes, like fairy sanctity, she did approach my cabin where I lay. Thrice bowed before me, and gasping to begin some speech, her eyes became two spouts. The fury spent, anon did this break from her. Good Antigonus, since fate against thy better disposition hath made thy the person for the thrower out of my poor babe, places remote enough are in Bohemia. There weep and leave it crying, for the babe is counted lost forever. Perdita, I prithee call it. For this ungentle business brought unto thee by my lord, thou ne'er shalt see thy wife Paulina more. And with shrieks, she melted in the air. Affrighted much, I did in time collect myself and thought this was so, and no slumber. Dreams are toys. Yet for this once, yea, superstitiously, I will be squared by this. I do believe Hermione hath suffered death, and that Apollo would This indeed being the issue of King Polixenes, it should here be laid for life or death upon the earth of its right father. Blossom, speed thee well. There lie thy character. There these, which if fortune may please, both breed thee pretty and still rest thine. The storm begins. Oh, poor wretch, that for thy mother's fault out, thus so exposed to loss and what may follow. Weep, I cannot, but my heart bleeds, and most accursed am I to be by oath enjoined to this. Farewell. The day frowns more and more. Thou art like to have a lullaby too rough. I never saw the heavens so dim by day. Oh, a savage clamor! I make it bold. This is the chase. I am gone forever.
Exit, pursued by a bear. Enter a shepherd.
Hark you now. Would any but these boiled brains of 19 and 22 hunt this weather? They have scared away 2 of my best sheep, which I fear the wolves will sooner find than the master. If anywhere I have them, 'tis by the seaside, browsing of ivy. Good luck and be thy will, what have we here? Mercy ons, a barn? A very pretty barn. A boy or a child, I wonder? A pretty one, a very pretty one. I'll take it up for pity, yet I'll tarry till my son come. He allude, but even now. Whoa-ho, hoa!
Hallelujah! I have seen 2 such sights, by land and by sea. But I am not to say it is the sea, for it is now the sky. Betwixt the firmament and it, you cannot thrust a bodkin's point.
Why, boy, how is it?
I would you did see but how it chafes, how it rages, how it takes up the shore. But that's not the point. Oh, the most piteous cry of the poor souls. Sometimes to see him, and then not to see him. Now the ship boring the moon, and then with her main mast, and then anon swallowed with yeast and froth, as you'll thrust a cork into a hogshead. Oh, and then for the land service, to see how the bear tore out his shoulder bone, and how he cried to me for help and said his name was Antigonus, a nobleman. But to make an end of the ship, to see how the sea flap-dragoned it, but first, how the poor souls roared and the sea mocked them, and then the poor gentleman roared and the bear mocked him, both roaring louder than the sea or the weather.
Heavy matters, heavy matters. But look thee here, boy. Now bless thyself. Thou metst with things dying, I with things newborn. Here's a sight for thee. Look thee, a bearing cloth for a squire's child. Look thee here. Take up, boy. Open't. So, let's see. It was told me I should be rich by the fairies. This is some changeling. Open't. What's within, boy?
You're a made old man. If the sins of your youth be forgiven, you're well to live. It's gold, all gold.
This is fairy gold, boy, and will prove so. Up with it. Keep it close. Home, the next way. We are lucky, boy, and to be so still requires nothing but secrecy. Let my sheep go. Come, good boy, the next way home.
Go you the next way, with your findings. I'll go see if the bear be gone from the gentleman and how much he has eaten. They're never cursed but when they're hungry. If there be any of him left, I'll bury it.
That's a good deed. If thou mayest discern by that which is left of him what he is, fetch me to the sight of him.
Marry will I, and you shall help to put him in the ground.
'Tis a lucky day, boy, and we'll do good deeds on't.
We will now take a 15-minute intermission. Act 4, enter time.
I, that please some, try all, both joy and terror, of good and bad, that makes and unfolds error.
Now take upon me,
in the name of
time, to use my wings. Impute it not a crime to me or my passage, that I slide o'er 16 years, and leave the growth untried of that wide gap, since it is in my power to o'erthrow law, and in one self-born hour to plant and o'erwhelm custom. Let me pass the same I am,
ere ancient's order was, or what is now received.
I witness to the times that brought them in.
So shall I do to the freshest things now reigning and make stale the glistering of this present, as my tale now seems to it.
Your patience this allowing, I turn my glass, and give my scene such growing, as you had slept between.
Leontes leaving, the effects of his fond jealousy so grieving that he shuts himself up. Imagine me, gentle spectators, that I know may be in fair Bohemia, and remember well, I mentioned a son of the king's, which florizel I now name to you.
And with speed so paced to speak of Perdita, now grown in grace, equal with wondering.
What of her ensues I list not prophecy, but let time's news be known when 'tis brought forth.
A shepherd's daughter, and what to her adheres, which follows after is the argument of time.
Of this allow, if ever you have spent time worse ere now.
If never, yet that time himself may say, he wishes earnestly you never may.
I pray thee, good Camillo, be no more importunate. 'Tis a sickness denying thee anything, a death to grant this.
It is 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part erred abroad, I desire to lay my bones there.
As thou lovest me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. The need I have of thee thine own goodness hath made. Better not to have had thee than thus to want thee. Say to me, when sawest thou the Prince Florizel, my son? Kings are no less unhappy their issue not being gracious than they are in losing them when they have approved their virtues.
Sir, it is 3 days since I saw the prince. What his happier affairs may be are to me unknown. But I have missingly noted he has of late much retired from the court and is less frequent to his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care. So far that I have eyes under my service which look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence, that he is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd. A man, they say, that from very nothing and beyond the imagination of his neighbors is grown into an unspeakable estate.
I have heard, sir, of such a man, who hath a daughter of most rare note. The report of her is extended more than can be thought to begin from such a cottage.
That likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the angle that plucks our son thither. Thou shalt accompany us to the place where we will, not appearing as we are, have some question with the shepherd, from whose simplicity I think it not uneasy to get the cause of my son's resort thither. Prithee, be my present partner in this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Cecilia.
I willingly obey your commands.
My best Camillo, we must disguise ourselves.
When daffodils begin to peer with high, the doxy o'er the dale. Why then comes in the sweet of the year, for the red bud reigns in the winter's pale. The white is glinting on the hedge with high, the sweet birds, oh how they sing! They'll set my pogging tooth on edge for the quarter veil as a dish to a king. My traffic is sheets. When the kite builds look to lesser linen, my father named me Autolycus, who, being, as I am, littered under Mercury, was likewise a snapper-up of unconsidered trifles. With dye and drab I purchased this comparison, and my review is the silly cheat. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway. Beating and hanging are terrors for me. For the life to come, I sleep out the thought of it. A prize. A prize!
Let me see. Every leaven, whether tod, every tod yields pound and odd shilling, 1,500 shorn. What comes the wool to?
If the springe holds, the cock's mine.
I cannot do it without counters. Let me see. What am I to buy for the sheep shearing feast? 3 pounds of sugar, 5 pounds of currants. Rice? What will this sister of mine do with rice? But my father hath made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on.
Oh, that ever I was born!
The name of me!
Oh, help me! Help me, pluck but off these rags and then death.
That poor soul! Thou hast need of more rags to lay on thee rather than have these off.
Oh, sir, the loathsomeness of them offends me more than the stripes that I have received, which are mighty ones and millions.
Laugh, poor soul! A million of beating may come to a great matter.
I am robbed, sir, and beaten. My apparel taken from me, and these detestable things put upon me.
What? By a horseman or a footman?
Footman, sir, a footman.
Indeed. He should be a footman by the garments he has left with thee. If this be a horseman's coat, it would seem very hot service. Lend me thy hand. I'll help thee. Come, lend me thy hand.
Oh, good sir, and tenderly.
Lass, poor soul.
Good sir, softly, good sir, I fear my shoulder blade is out.
How now? Can stand?
Softly, yes. Oh, you have done me a charitable service.
Well, does lack any money? I have a little
Oh,
money.
no. Good sweet sir, I beseech you. I have a kinsman 3/4 of a mile, hence whom I was going to. There I will have money, or anything I want. Offer me no money, I pray. It kills the heart.
Well, how do you now?
Oh, sweet sir, much better. I can stand and walk, and I will even take my leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsman.
Well, shall I bring thee on the way?
I know, good pace, sir. No, sweet sir.
Well then, fare thee well. I must go buy spices for our sheep shearing.
Prosper you, sweet sir. Your purse is not enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing too. If I may not this cheat bring out another, and the shearer's proof sheep, let me be unrolled, and my name put in the book of virtue. Jog on the footpathway, and merry him to style. A merry heart goes all a day, your sad tire's in a mile.
These, your unusual weeds, to each part of you do give a life. No shepherdess, but Flora peering in April's front. This, your sheep shearing, is as but a meeting of the petty gods, and you the queen on't.
Sir, my gracious lord, to chide at your extremes it not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I name them. Your high self, the gracious mark of the land, you have obscured with a swain's wearing, and me, poor, lowly maid, most goddess-like, pranked up. But that our feasts in every mess have folly, and the feeders digest it with a custom, I should blush to see you so attired, sworn, I think, to show myself a glass.
I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across your father's ground.
Now, Jove afford you cause. To me, the difference forges dread. Your greatness hath not been used to fear. Even now I tremble to think your father, by some accident, should pass this way as you did. Oh, the fates, how would he look? To see his work so noble, vilely bound up, what would he say, or how should I, in these my borrowed flaunts, behold the sternness of his presence?
Thou dearest Perdita, with these forced thoughts I prithyn thee, darken not the mirth of the feast, or I'll be thine, my dear, or not my father's, for I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any, if I be not thine. To this I am most constant, though destiny say no. Be merry, gentle, strangle such thoughts as these with anything that you behold the while. Your guests are coming, lift up your countenance, as it were the day of celebration of that nuptial which we two have sworn shall come.
Fie, daughter, you are attired as if you were a feasted one, and not the hostess of the meeting. Pray you bid these unknown friends toast welcome, for it is a way to make us better friends. Or no, come, quench your blushes, and present yourself that which you are, mistress of feast. Come on, and bid us welcome to your sheep shearing, as your good flock shall prosper.
Sirs, welcome. It is my father's will I should take on me the hostessship of the day. You're welcome, sir. For you, there's rosemary and rue. These keep seeming and savor all winter long. Grace and remembrance be to you both, and welcome to our shearing.
Shepherdess, a fair one you are. Well, you fit our ages with flowers of winter.
Here's flowers for you. Hot lavender, mints, savory marjoram, the marigolds that goes to bed with the sun, and with him rises weeping. These are flowers of middle summer, and I think are given to men of middle age. You're very welcome.
I should leave grazing were I of your flock, and only live by gazing.
Out, alas! You'd be so lean that blasts of January would blow you through and through. Now, my fairest friend, I would I had some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day. And yours, that wear upon your virgin branches yet your maidenhead's growing. Oh, these I lack to make you garlands of, and my sweet friend to strew him o'er and o'er.
What, like a course?
No, not like a course, but like a bank for love to lie and play on. Not like a course, or, if not to be buried, be quick and in mine arms. Come, take your flowers. Methinks I play as I have seen them do in Whitsun pastorals.
What you do still betters what is done. When you speak, sweet, I'll have you do it ever. When you sing, I'll have you buy and sell so give alms, pray so, and for the ordering of your affairs to sing them too. When you do dance, I wish you a wave o'er the sea that you might ever do nothing but that. Move still so, and oh, no other function. Each your doing, so singular in each particular, crowns what you are doing in the present deed, that all your acts are queens.
Oh, Doricles, your praises are too large. But that your youth and the true blood which peepeth fairly through it do plainly give you out to be an unstained shepherd,
With wisdom I might fear, my Doricles. You wooed me the false way.
I think you have as little skill to fear as I have purposed to put you to it. But come, our dance, I pray. Your hand, my Perdita, so turtle's pair that never mean to part.
I'll swear for him.
This is the prettiest low-born lass that ever ran on the greensward. Nothing she does or seems but smacks of something greater than herself. Too noble for this place. Pray, good shepherd, what fair swain is this which dances with your daughter?
They call him Doricles, and boasts himself to have a worthy feeding. But I have it upon his own report, and I believe it. He looks like sooth. He says he loves my daughter. I think so too. For never gaze the moon upon the water, as he'll stand and read as 'twere my daughter's eyes. And to be plain, I think there is not half a kiss to choose who loves another best.
Oh, Father, you'll know more of that hereafter. Is not too far gone? 'Tis time to part them. He's simple and tells much. How now, fair shepherd? Your heart is full of something that does take your mind from feasting.
Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who it should seem hath sometime loved.
What follows this? But to your protestation, let me hear what you profess.
Do, and be a witness to it.
And this, my neighbor too?
And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens, and all that, were I crowned the most imperial monarch, thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made eye swerve, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love. For her employ them all, commend them and condemn them to her service or to their own perdition.
Fairly offered.
This shows a sound affection.
What, my daughter? Say you the like to him.
I cannot speak so well. Nothing so well. No, nor mean better. By the pattern of my own thoughts, I cut out the purity of his.
Take hands, a bargain. And friends unknown, you shall bear witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and will make her portion equal his.
Oh, that must be the virtue of your daughter. One being dead, I shall have more than you can dream of yet. Enough then for your wonder, but come on, contract us for these witnesses.
Come, your hand, and daughter, yours.
Soft, swain, a while, beseech you. Have you a father?
I have, but what of him?
Knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father is at the nuptial of his son, a guest that best becomes the table. Pray you, once more, is not your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs? Is he not stupid with age and altering rooms? Can he speak, hear, know man from man, dispute his own estate? Lies he not bedrid, and again does nothing but what he did being childish?
No, good sir. He has his health and ampler strength indeed than most have of his age. But for some other reasons, my grave sir, which 'tis not fit you know, I not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
He shall not.
Prithee, tell him.
No, he must not.
Let him, my son. He shall not need to grieve a joy of thy choice.
Come, he must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir. Whom son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou, a scepter's heir, that thus affectest a sheep's hook. Thou, old traitor,
I am sorry that by hanging thee I can but shorten thy life 1 week. And thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft, who of force must know the royal fool thou coppest with.
Oh, my heart!
I'll have thy beauty scratched with briars and made more homely than thy state. For you, fond boy, if I ever know that thou dost but sigh that thou no more shalt see this knack, as ever I mean thou shalt, will bar thee from succession, not hold thee of our blood, no, not our kin, far than Deucalion off. Mark thou my words. Follow us to court, thou churl, for this time, though full of our displeasure, yet we free thee from the dead blow of it. And you, enchantment, worthy enough a herdsman, yea, but him too, that makes himself but for our honor therein unworthy thee, if ever henceforth these rural latches of his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embraces, I will devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art tender to it.
Even here, undone. I was not much afeard, for once or twice I was about to speak and tell him plainly, the self-same sun that shines on our cottage, upon his court hides not the visage from our cottage, but looks on alike. Will it please you, sir, be gone? I told you what would become of this. Beseech you of your own state, take care. This dream of mine, being now awake, I'll queen it no inch further, but milk my ewes and weep.
Well, how now, father? Speak, ere thou diest.
I cannot speak, nor think, nor dare to know that which I know. Oh, sir, you have undone a man of 83.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeard. Delayed, but nothing altered. But I am, more straining on for plucking back, not following my leash unwillingly.
How often have I told you 'twould be thus? How often said my dignity would last, but till 'twere known?
It cannot fail, but by the violation of my faith, and then let nature crush the sides of the earth together and mar the seeds within. Lift up thy looks. From my succession wipe me, Father. I am heir to my affection.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it, but does fulfill my vow. I needs must think it honesty, Camillo, not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat gleaned, for all the sun that sees, or the close earth wombs, or the profound sea hides in unknown fathoms, will I break my oath to this my fair beloved. Therefore, I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honored friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him any more, cast your good counsels upon his passion. Let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know and so deliver. I am put to sea with her whom I cannot hold on shore, with her whom the most opportune to our need. I have a vessel rides fast by, but not prepared for this design. What course I mean to hold shall nothing benefit your knowledge, nor concern me the reporting.
Oh, my lord. I would your spirit were easier for advice, or stronger for your need.
Hark, Perdita. I'll hear you by and by.
Ease irremovable, resolved for flight. Now were I happy if his going I could frame to serve my turn. Save him from danger, do him love and honor, purchase the sight again of dear Cecilia and that unhappy king, my master, whom I so much thirst to see. Have you thought on the place where you will go?
Not any yet, but as the unthought-on accident is guilty to what we wildly do, so we profess ourselves to be the slaves of chance and flies of every wind that blows.
Then listen to me. This follows. if you will not change your purpose, but undergo this flight, make for Sicilia, and there present yourself and your fair princess, for so I see she must be, for Leontes. She shall be habited as it becomes the partner of your bed. Methinks I see Leontes opening his free arms and weeping his welcomes forth, asks thee, the son, forgiveness as 'twere in the father's person, kisses the hand of your fresh princess, o'er and o'er divides him twixt his unkindness and his kindness. The one he chides, the other bids to grow faster than the thought of time.
I am bound to you, there is some sap in this. Oh, the thorns we now stand upon! Camillo, preserver of my father, now of me, the medicine of our house. How shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia.
My lord, fear none of this. I think you know my fortune do all lie there. It shall be so my care to have you royally appointed, as if the scene you play were mine. For instance, sir, that you may know you shall not want. One word.
What a fool honesty is, and trust his sworn brother, a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpery, not a counterfeit stone, not a ribbon, glass, commander, brooch, table book, ballad, knife, tape, glove, shoe tie, bracelet, horn ring, to keep my pack from fasting. They throng, who should buy first as if my trinkets had been hallowed and brought a benediction to the buyer. By which means I saw whose purse was best in picture. And what I saw, to my good use, I remembered. So that in this time of lethargy I picked and cut most of their festival purses. And had not the old man come in with a whoop against his daughter and the king's son and scared my chuffs from the chaff, I had not let a purse alive in the whole army.
Nay, but my letters, by the means being there, so soon you shall arrive, shall clear all doubt.
And those that you'll procure from King Leontes
shall satisfy your father.
Happy be you. All that you speak shows fair.
Who have we here? We'll make an instrument of this. Omit nothing may give us aid.
If they have overheard me now, why hanged?
How now, my good fellow? Why shakest thou so? Fear not, man, there's no harm intended thee.
I am a poor fellow, sir.
Why be so still? Here's nobody can steal that from me. Yet, for the outside of thy poverty, we must make exchange. Therefore, discase thee, instantly. Thou must think there's a necessity in it. And change garments with this gentleman. Though the pennyworth on his side be the worst, yet hold thee. Here's some boot.
I am a poor fellow, sir. I know you well enough.
Nay, prithee, dispatch. The gentleman is half late already.
Are you in earnest, sir? I smell a trick on it.
Dispatch, I prithee.
Indeed, I have had earnest, but I cannot with conscience take it.
Unbuckle! Unbuckle?
Should I now meet my father, he would not call me son.
Nay, you shall have no hat. Come. Lady, come. Farewell, my friend.
Adieu, sir.
Oh, Perdita, what we have twain forgot, pray you a word.
What I do next shall be to tell the king of this escape and whither they are bound, wherein my hope is I shall so prevail to force him hereafter, in whose company I shall review Sicilia, for whose sight I have a woman's longing.
Fortune speed us. Thus we set on Camillo to the seaside.
The swifter speed, the better.
I understand the business. I hear it. To have an open ear, a quick eye, and a nimble hand is necessary for a converse. A good nose is requisite also to smell out work for the other senses. The prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his clog at his heels. If I had thought it were a piece of honesty to acquaint the king withal, I would not do it. I hold it the more knavery to conceal it, and therein am constant in my profession.
See? What a man you are now. There is no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling and none of your flesh and blood.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
Go to, then.
She, being none of your flesh and blood has not offended the king. And so, your flesh and blood will not be punished by him. Show those things you found about her, those secret things, all but what she has with her. This being done, let the law go whistle, I warrant you.
Very wisely published.
Well, let us to the king. There is that in this fardel will make him scratch his beard.
I know not what impediment this complaint may be to the plight of my master.
Pray heartily he be at the palace.
Though I am not naturally honest, I am sometimes so by chance. How now, rustics? Whither are you bound?
To the palace, and like your worship.
Your affairs there. What? With whom? The condition of that fardel. The place of your dwelling. Your names. Your ages. Of what having, breeding, and anything fitting to be known. Discover!
This cannot be but a great courtier.
His garments are rich, but he wears them not handsomely.
He seems to be the more noble in being fantastical. A great man, I'll warrant. I know by the picking on of teeth.
The fardel, then. What is the fardel? Wherefore that box?
Sir, there lies such secrets in this fardel and box, which none must know but the king, and which he shall know within this hour, if I may come to the speech of him.
Age, thou hast lost thy labor.
Why, sir?
If the king is not at the palace, he's gone aboard a new ship to purge melancholy and air himself. For, if thou beest capable of things serious, thou must know the king is full of grief.
So 'tis said, sir, about his son, that should have married a shepherd's daughter.
If that shepherd be not in hand fast, let him fly. The curses he shall have, the tortures he shall feel, will break the back of man, the heart of monster.
Think you so, sir?
An old sheep whistling rogue, a ram tender, to offer to have his daughter come into grace. Some say he shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for him. I say draw our throne into a sheepcote. All deaths are too few, the sharpest too easy.
Has the old man e'er a son, sir, do you hear? And it like you, sir?
He has a son, who shall be flayed alive, anointed over with honey, set on the head of a wasp's nest, then stand till he be 3/4 and a dram, dead. Then recovered again with aquavitae or some other hot infusion. Then raw as he is, and in the hottest day, prognostication proclaims, shall he be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, where he is to behold him with flies blown to death. But what talk we of these traitorly rascals? Whose miseries are to be smiled at, their offenses being so capital. Tell me, for you seem to be honest, plain men, what you have to the king. Being something gently considered, I'll bring you where he is aboard, tender your persons to his presence, whisper him in your behalfs, and, if it be in man besides the king to effect your suits, here is a man shall do it.
He seems to be of great authority. Give him the gold. Close with him. And though authority be a stubborn bear, yet he's oft led by the nose with gold. Show the inside of your purse to the outside of his hand. And no more ado. Remember, stoned and flayed alive?
And please you, sir, to undertake the business for us, here is that gold I have. I'll make it as much more and leave this young man in pawn till I bring it.
After I have done what I promised.
Aye, sir.
Well, give me the moiety. Are you party to this business?
In some sort, sir, but though my case be a pitiful one, I hope I shall not be flayed out of it.
That's the case with the shepherd's son. Hang him, he'll be made an example.
Oh, comfort, good comfort. We must to the king and show our strange sights. He must know 'tis none of your daughter nor my sister. We are gone else. Sir, I will give you as much as this old man does when the business is performed, and remain, as he says, your pawn till it be brought to you.
I will trust you. Walk before toward the seaside, go on the right hand. I will but look upon the hedge and follow you.
We are blessed in this man, as I say, even blessed.
Let's before, as he bids us. He was provided to do us good.
If I had a mind to be honest, I see fortune would not suffer me. She drops booties in my mouth. I am courted now with a double occasion. Gold and a means to do the prince my master good, which who knows how that may turn back my advancement. I will bring these two moles, these two blind ones, aboard him. If he thinks it fit to shore them again, and that the complaint they have to the king concerns him nothing, let him call me a rogue for being so far officious, for I am proof against the title, and what shame else belongs to it. To him I will present them. There may be matter in it.
Act 5, the palace at Sicilia.
Sir, you have done enough, and you have performed a saint-like sorrow. No fault could you make, which you have not redeemed indeed. Paid down more penitence than done trespass at the last. Do as the heavens have done, forget your evil, with them forgive yourself.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much, that heirless it hath made my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that ever man bred his hopes out of.
True, too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from the all that are took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so. But thou strikest me sorely to say I did. It is as bitter upon my tongue as in thy thought. Now good, now say so, but Salva.
Not at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those would have him wed again. There is none worthy respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes, for has not the divine Apollo said, is not the tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? Which that it shall is as monstrous to our human reason as my Antigonus to break his grave and come again to me, who on my life did perish with the infant. 'Tis your counsel, my lord, should to the heavens be contrary, oppose against their will. Care not for issue. The crown will find an heir. Great Alexander left his to the worthiest, so his successor was like to be the best.
Good Paulina, who hast the memory of Hermione, I know and honor all that ever I had squared me to thy counsel, then even now. I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips.
And left them more rich for what they yielded.
Thou speakest truth.
Will you swear never to marry but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina. So be blessed my spirit.
Then, good my lords, bear witness to his oath.
You tempt him overmuch.
Unless another, as like Hermione, as is her picture, affront his eye.
Good madam.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That shall be when your first queen again in breath, never till then.
One that gives himself Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess. She, the fairest I have yet beheld, desires access to your high highness.
What with him? He comes not like to his father's greatness. His approach, so out of circumstance and sudden, tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. What train?
But few, and those but me.
His princess, say you, with him?
Aye, and the most peerless piece of earth, I think, that e'er the sun shall bright on.
Go, yourself, assist with your honored friends, bring them to our embracement. Still, 'tis strange he thus should steal upon us.
Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he had paired well with this lord. There was not a full month between their births.
Prithee, no more. Cease, thou knowest he dies to me again when talked of. Sure, when I will bring me to consider that which may furnish me of reason. And then come. Your mother was most true to wedlock, prince, for she did print your royal father off, conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hit in you, his very air, that I should call you brother, as I did him, and speak of something wildly by us performed before. Most dearly welcome. And you, fair princess, goddess. Alas, I lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth might thus have stood, begetting wonder as you, gracious couple, do. And then I lost all my own folly, the society, amity too, of your brave father, whom through bearing misery I desire my life once more to look on him.
By his command have I here touched Cecilia, and from him give you all greetings that a king at friend can send his brother. And but infirmity, which waits upon warden times, hath sometimes seized his wished ability. He had himself the lands and waters twixt your throne and his, measured to look upon you, whom he loves. He bade me say so, more than all the scepters and those that bear them living.
Oh, my brother. Good gentlemen, the wrongs I have done thee stir afresh within me, and these offices so rarely kinder as interpreters of my behindhand slackness. Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth, and hath he too exposed his paragon to the fearful usage, at least ungentle of the dreadful Neptune, to greet a man not worth of her pains, much less the adventure of her person.
Most noble sir, that which I shall report would bear no credit were not the proof so nigh. Please you, great sir, Bohemia greets you from himself by me, desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where's Bohemia? Speak.
Here in your city, I came from him. I speak amazedly, and it becomes my marvel in my message. To your court whilst he was hastening, in the chase it seems of this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo has betrayed me, whose honor and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
Lay it so to his charge. He's with the king your father.
Who, Camillo?
Camillo, sir. I spake with him, who now has these poor men in question. Ne'er saw I wretches so quake. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with divers deaths and death.
Oh, my poor father. The heaven set spies on us. We'll not have our contract celebrated.
Are you married?
We are not, sir, nor are we like to be. The stars I see will kiss the valleys first, the odds for high and lows alike.
My lord, is this the daughter of a king?
She is, when once she is my wife.
That once, I see by your good father's speed, will come on very slowly. I'm sorry. Most sorry you have broken from his liking where you were tied in duty, and so sorry your choice is not so much rich in worth as beauty, as you might well enjoy her.
Dear, look up. Though fortune, visible an enemy, should chase us with my father, power no jot hath she to change our loves. Beseech you, sir, remember since you owe no more to time than I do now, with thought of such affection, step forth, mine advocate. At your request, my father will grant such precious things as trifles.
Would he do so? I beg your precious mistress, which he counts a trifle.
Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much youth in it. Not a month before your queen died, she was more worth such gazes than what you look on now.
I thought of her, even in those looks I made. But your petition is yet unanswered. I will go to your father. Your honor not overthrown by your desires, I am friend to them and to you, upon which errand I will now go toward him. Therefore follow me and mark the way which I may. Come, my good lord.
Beseech you, sir, were you present at this relation?
I was at the opening of the farm. Heard the old shepherd deliver the manor and how he found it. Whereupon, after little Onesimus, we were all commanded out of the chamber. Only this methought. I heard the shepherd say, he found the child.
I would most gladly know the issue of it.
I make a broken delivery of the business. Here comes a gentleman who happily knows more. The news, Ruggiero.
Nothing but bonfires. The oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. Such a deal of wonder is broken out within this hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it. Here comes the Lady Paulina's steward. He can deliver you more. How goes it now, sir? This news which is called true is so like an old tale that the verity of it is in strong suspicion. Has the king found his heir?
Most true. If ever truth were pregnant by circumstance, that which you hear, you'll swear you see. There is such unity in the proofs. The mantle of Queen Hermione's, her jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it which they know to be his character, the majesty of the creature in resemblance of the mother, the affection of nobleness, which nature shows her breeding, and many other evidences proclaim her with all certainty to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No.
Then you have lost a sight, which was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There you might have beheld one joy crowned another, and so in such manner that it seemed sorrow wept to take leave of them, for their joy waded in tears. There was such casting up of eyes, holding up of hands, with countenances of such distraction, that they were known by guard, not by favor. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter, as if that joy were now become a loss, he cries, "Oh, thy mother!" Then asks Bohemia forgiveness. Then braces his son-in-law, then again worries his daughter with clipping her. And now he thanks the old shepherd, which stands by like a weather-bitten conduit of many kings' reigns. I never heard such an encounter like it, which lames report to follow it and undoes description to do it.
What, pray you, became of Antigonus that carried hence the child?
Like an old tale hints, with a matter to rehearse, though credit be asleep, and not an ear open. He was torn to pieces by a bear. This avouches the shepherd's son, who has not only his innocence, which seems much to justify him, but a handkerchief and rings of his and that Paulina knows. Oh, the noble joy, atwixt joy and sorrow that was fought in Paulina. She had one eye declined for the loss of her husband. Another elevated by the oracle is now fulfilled. She lifted up the princess from the earth, and so locks her in embracing, as if she would pin her to her heart, that that she might be no more in danger of losing.
The dignity of this act was worth the audience of kings and princes, for by it was such enacted.
One of the prettiest touches of all, and that which angled for mine eyes, caught the water, though not the fish. For when at the relation of the queen's death, with the manner how she came to it, bravely confessed and lamented by the king, how attentiveness wounded his daughter till, from one sight of dolor to another, she wept with an alas, I would say bleed tears, for I am sure my heart wept blood. Who was their most marvel, their changed color? Some swooned, all sorrowed. If all the world could have seen it, the woe had been universal.
Are they yet returned to the court?
No. The princess, hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, a piece many years in the doing, and now newly performed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano, who had he himself eternity, and could put breath in his work, would beguile nature of her custom. So perfectly is he her ape. So he is near to Hermione that he hath done Hermione, that they would say one could stand and speak to her in hope of answer. Thither with all greediness of his affection are they gone, and there they intend to sup.
I thought she had some great matter there in hand, for she hath privately, twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that removed house. Shall we thither, and with our company peace the rejoicing?
Who would be thence that had the benefit of access? Every wink of an eye, some new grace will be born. Our absence makes us unthrifty to our knowledge. Let's along.
Now, had I not a dash of my former life in me, would preferment drop on my head. Here come those I have done good against my will, and already appearing in the blossoms of their fortune.
Come, boy, I am past more children, but thy sons and daughters will be all gentlemen born.
You are well met, sir. You denied fight with me this other day because I was no gentleman born. See you these clothes? Say you see them not and think me still no gentleman born. You were best to say these robes are not gentleman born. Give me the lie, do, and try whether I am not now gentleman born.
I know you are now, sir, gentleman born.
Aye. And have been so any time these 4 hours.
And so have I, boy.
I humbly beseech you, sir, to pardon me all the faults I have committed to your worship, and to give me your good report to the prince, my master.
Prithee, son, do. For we must be gentle. Now we are gentlemen.
Thou wilt amend thy life?
Aye, and it like your good worship.
Give me thy hand. I will swear to the prince thou art as honest a true fellow as any in Bohemia.
You may say it, but not swear it.
Not swear it? No, I'm a gentleman. Let Boers and Franklin say it. I'll swear it.
How if it be false, son?
I will prove it so, sir, to my power.
Hark! The kings and princes, our kindred, are going to see the queen's picture. Come, follow us. We'll be thy good masters.
Oh, Paulina, we honor you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your gallery have we passed through, not without much comfort and many singularities, but we saw not that which my daughter came to look upon, the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness, I do well believe, excels whatever yet you looked upon or hand of man hath done. Therefore I keep it lonely, apart. But here it is, Prepare to see the life as lively mocked as ever, still sleep mock death. Behold and say 'tis well.
Paulina draws a curtain and discovers Hermione standing like a statue.
I like your silence. It the more shows me off your wonder, but yet speak. First, you, my liege. Comes it not something near?
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed thou art Hermione. Or rather, thou art she in thy not chiding, for she was as tender as infancy and grace. But yet, Paulina, Hermione was not so much wrinkled, nothing so aged as this seems.
Not by much.
So much the more our carver's excellence, which lets go by some 16 years and makes her as she lived now.
And now she might have done. So much to my good comfort as it is now piercing to my soul. Oh, thus she stood, even with such life of majesty, warm life, and now it coldly stands when first I wooed her. I'm ashamed. Does not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it? O royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty, which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and by thy admiring daughter took the spirit standing like stone with thee.
And give me leave, and do not say to suspicion that I kneel and then implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen that ended when I but began, give me that hand of yours to kiss.
Oh, patience! The statue is but newly fixed, the color's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away so many summers dry. Scarce any joy did ever live so long. No sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
Dear my brother, let him that was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you, as he will peace up in himself.
Indeed, my lord, if I had thought the sighting of my poor image, which would have thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine, I'd not have shown it.
Do not draw the curtain.
No longer shall you gaze on it, lest your fancy may think anon it moves.
No, let it be, let it be. For I were dead, but that methinks already. What was he that did make it? See, my lord, would you not deem it breathed, and that those veins did verily bear blood?
Masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her lip.
The fixture of her eye has motion in it. Are we not mocked with art?
I'll draw the curtain, my lord, almost so far transported that he thinks anon it lives.
Oh, sweet Paulina, make me think so to 20 years. No settled sense of the world can match the pleasure of that madness. Let it alone.
I am sorry, sir, I have thus far stirred you, but I could afflict you farther.
Do, Paulina, for this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Still, methinks, there is an air comes from her, what fine chisel could ever yet cut breath. Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Good my lord, forbear. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You mar it if you kiss it. Stain your own with oily painting. Shall I draw the curtain?
No, not these 20 years.
So long could I stand by and look her on.
Either forbear, quit presently the chapel, or resolve you for more amazement. If you can behold it, I'll make the statue move indeed, descend, and take you by the hand. But then you'll think, which I protest against, I am assisted by wicked powers.
What you can make her do, I'm content to look on. What to speak, I'm content to hear. For 'tis as easy to make her speak as move.
It is required you do awake your faith. And all stand still on. Those that think it is an unlawful business I am about, let them depart.
Proceed, no foot shall stir.
Music, awake her, strike. 'Tis time. Descend, be stoned no more. Approach, strike all that look upon you with marvel. Come, I'll fill your grave up, stir, yet come away. Bequeath to death your numbness, for from him your life redeems you. perceive she stirs. Start not, her action shall be holy as you hear my spell is lawful. Do not shun her until you see her die again, for then you will kill her double. May present your hand. When she was young you wooed her, now in age is she become the suitor?
Oh, she's warm. If this be magic, let it be art lawful as eating.
She embraces him.
She hangs about his neck. If she pertain to life, let her speak too.
Aye, and make manifest where she has lived, or how stolen from the dead.
There is time enough for that. Lest they desire upon this push to trouble your joys with like relation, go together. You precious winners all, your exultation partake to everyone. I, an old turtle, will wing me to some withered bough there, my mate that's never to be found again, lament till I am lost.
Oh, peace, Paulina. Thou shouldst a husband take by my consent, as I by thine a wife. This is a match and made between my vows. Thou hast found mine, and how it is to be questioned, for I saw her as I thought dead, and have in vain said many a prayer upon her grave. Let's from this place. What? Look upon thy brother. Both your pardons that ever I put between your holy looks my ill suspicion. This is your son-in-law and son unto the king, whose heaven's directing is troth plight to your daughter. Good Paulina, lead us from hence, where we may leisurely each one demand an answer to his part performed in this wide gap of time, since first hence we were dissevered. Hastily, lead away.